everyone, thanks for tuning in for episode 13 of Project Mompreneur. Our episode today is all about running your business from home and loving the space that you're in. I'm very excited to have our guests today, Amanda and Kathleen with Paulele. I'm going to let these ladies tell you a little bit more about their business. Ladies, thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having us. Paulele is Hawaiian for faith, confidence, and trust. So the two of us started this because we wanted to sell sunglasses. Nothing to us says confidence for a woman sometimes.
So true.
Better than a pair of sunglasses.
Excellent. So starting the business, since we're talking today about working from home, how do you, when you got that started, how are you finding a balance of being in your home space and running that business without losing your sanity?
I find that it's really important to set business hours and set your boundaries of when you're going to perform what tasks on certain days and during your business hours, and then being really diligent about sticking to the boundaries that you have set. And if it's not working, then you tweak things along the way, but not letting it take over your day, because you can put 24 hours into it if you wanted to.
Absolutely, absolutely. So how do you balance that as far as in your space? Like, what do you do in addition to setting the boundaries? What else do you do so you have some peace of mind and sanity in your space, knowing that you have, you're running business, you have business items there, you have your product there. I'm assuming it's sometimes too, you've got products. So how do you keep that separated, especially with families, and making sure that they're not getting into your business things?
There's a reason I let her take the first part, because I am terrible at the boundaries and the time.
Okay.
But I have a space.
Okay.
I have a chair, and it's Mom's chair. And if in my chair, then nobody needs to come in. So that chair can be for business. It can be for I just need quiet time. I do FaceTime calls from there, and it's just a little chair with a pretty pillow that doesn't match anything else, but it's Mom's space.
That's perfect. I think that's huge. I know for me, my business has unfortunately taken over the house at this point. So we have, I have warehouse space in the basement. I've recently set up warehouse space in my parents' basement, and but there's product all over. But the girls know, my children know that that is off limits, because if you touch that, you're gonna kind of screw up a little bit of the business. So what other tips do you have for viewers watching on how to get started and keep that peace of mind, or keep that sanity in your home?
Write down what it is you're looking for in a workday. What would that look like to you, and what would make you comfortable, and what would fit in with your family? So for example, I have my office space. So I'm in my office, the door is open, if the kids are in and out, they can yell questions, I can help them with something, but if the door's closed, it's off limits. They're not allowed to knock. They know it's not all day. It's a finite number of minutes that I need quiet. They can't be running outside the door. The door's locked, there's business happening, and they need to be quiet.
I think that's excellent. I know for me, I don't have the luxury of a door, so usually I'll just hush them if I'm on a call. But I think that's great. That's a good, visual indicator that there's business happening here. Mom's still here, but that's going on. So how about for you? Like, any tips that you have?
I think communication with them. Mine are a little older, 13 and 11. So there are times that I will ask for their help with business stuff, because I think it's important for them to get a piece of that too.
I agree 100%.
So I'll just communicate clearly. This is, our time, or this is, I just need this on my own. So I think with anything else, communication is key.
Perfect. So let me just backtrack to the name of the company for a minute. Coming up with Paulele and the reasons behind that. What made you, what was your force behind starting the company initially?
Actually, Kathleen came to me and asked if I wanted to start it, so it was her brainchild. But we had worked out together for a couple of years, and she got an injury training for the Chicago Marathon. So it took her out of our normal routine, and we were missing each other. So it was a great way to keep us together as friends. We're both very driven. We're both very organized. We knew it would be a great team. But as you can see, even in these few minutes, we think very differently. So we thought, let's do something fun, but something that is productive, because we would like that, but will also keep us together.
I think that's great too. It's a great point, is that you both have different, you have strengths in different areas, but you can bring that together and build a company. And I think that's huge for our viewers as well. And you're talking about finding partners that, you want to surround yourself with people that have different areas of strength than you do. And I think you two are a great example of that. So are there times that you've had, disagreements because you do think differently?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you work through that?
Well, we've had a couple of situations where we're both very passionate people in what we do, and so we take it very personally.
Just to be an entrepreneur,
Yes.
you have to.
Yes.
You have to have a passion, or else you're not gonna have the drive and the motivation to continue and succeed. So.
Yes. So after a couple of situations, we set some boundaries and made some rules, and we're not going to discuss major business changes or avenues that we're going to pursue on the weekends. Those are for business hours, so that we don't get upset about something and it takes away from our family time. And we've also decided if we disagree on something, we kind of have our safe words of, I'm not comfortable with this. Let's discuss this tomorrow. So we have our cool down time, and we can both think about it and how we would want to work it out, and then we're not as emotional and as upset when we come back to discuss it.
That's great. I mean, just kind of, it's almost like a marriage. I mean, you have to have the same kind of, communication and rules in place just so you can be productive and have that dialogue happen. So how about for you? I
just had two things I thought of.
Yeah.
Not texting was the other thing we talked about, because you can lose so much in text. So much of business, it's so efficient and effective for the most part, but you lose a lot of what you're really meaning sometimes. So that's one of our other things.
Misconstrued.
If there's something that we're not agreeing on, let's talk about it. Because every time we talk, we can get through it. And the other thing is, I think it's made us closer. Running the business, going through, having times where we didn't get along or didn't disagree has made us deeper friends because we figured out how to get through that.
That's great. Well, ladies, any other last tips that you have for our viewers, just in general, in starting a business or, again, loving your space, when you get that going out of your home?
Plan, plan, plan.
Okay.
Lots of planning ahead. And this is where her and I differ. She jumps in head first, and I have to do 12 hours of research.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you so much for being on the episode today. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. If you like the content and the information you saw today, please like and follow us on social media, and stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks so much.